Hello, everybody. My name is Natalia. I'm the sales manager of Education Way. Today, I'm here based in Melbourne. So welcome, everybody. As I told you, my name is Natalia. I'm going to present to you guys Juliana. Juliana has been living in Australia for a while now. She started as an international student. She worked with international students, giving support in a school. Then she moved to helping Australians to get placements, to get job placements in government jobs. And after that, she opened her own company. And right now, she's helping international students to find their jobs in Australia and start their careers here in Australia. So, welcome, you. Thank you for your time. And feel free to start whenever you like.
Thank you. Yeah, so thank you guys for welcoming here, for inviting me to kind of bring a little bit about my knowledge and share with everyone. As Nati said, I have been living here for 80 years now. I came to Australia just, kind of live a different experience, and then I fell in love in the first week, and I knew that will be my place. And it's been like that for the past 80 years. So I'm Brazilian, but I also lived in different countries, and I live with a Colombian, so I kind of know a little bit about our culture as well. And I know that it's quite hard for us sometimes to get to a new country and getting to know everyone and kind of feel how the job market looks like. So what I will do today with you is just bringing some updates about the job market, how you can kind of enter into this market and kind of like getting the job that you want, but not only that, and also actually planning your career in Australia. As a student, it's really hard sometimes. It can be really challenging, but my goal here is to bring you some good news and how it is possible, and I see it every day happen with my clients. So I want to bring you the guide how to do. Okay, so I will share a presentation with you now. Share. And anytime if you want to ask me a question, just pop through the QA button, and then I can respond later. But yeah. Okay. Sorry. So yeah, so that was me. That's me here. I've found that was very hard for Brazilians, Colombians, and every immigrant to be in Australia and to find the work here. So the reason why I found that there was a way for me to help everyone was because everyone is asking help to me. So basically just say, Ju, I need a new CV, I need a new cover letter. I don't know how I can find new jobs in Australia. Can you help me? And that was the way that I found Move On. And it's been now 2.5 years that I've been working through more than 70 students, basically, but also people that have been living in Australia and want to upskill themselves or change jobs or ask promotions or things like that. So yeah, I love what I do, and I also work in HR in a different company. So I have 2 jobs at the same time, and also I am a talent acquisition specialist. So I recruit for one company in the health sector. Okay. So let's talking about myself. Not really interested. And let's go to the job market. So as you probably know and heard in the media, Australia faces a really hard moment at this stage with the demand for professionals. So there is a huge demand for literally every single worker. So of course the key industries are healthcare, education, mining, construction, and IT. That's the key ones. So if you have any, let's say you're an engineer, or you're a nurse, or you are a childcare educator, or a software developer, it's likely that your way here will be easier. But that doesn't matter that if you have a different skill, you won't be able to find a job. It's just the market now, it really needs this kind of things. And that the reason why it's basically the country is growing really fast. So every single thing that you see here, the basic stuff that we have to deal with in our natural life. So healthcare, education, but basic things that we need. Construction, we have been facing a crisis where to live. No one knows where to live. So another thing here, and IT, because it's obviously that's where the job market is going through in the future. The difference though is that we're not facing now a huge and high demand as we were in the boom in 2022 and 2023. So here I have the jobs. So this is a really good one for from SICK. This is a data from SICK where they map the job volumes per month. So this is the quantity that they have the state's job at trend. So how the jobs are being posted through the companies in looking for people to work. And you can see it's very stable. It's kind of stabilizing now, but it's still very high. Okay. And this is the employment rate published from the government. So we had a huge in March 20, a huge up there. And the reason why everyone knows there was COVID. But now if you see, it's just down and up and down and down. We used to have a 6 as a normal, and now we sit at about 3.94. So it is high, but if you see in September, March, it was above, I think it was 2. So the market is still good. It is a time for the employees to find jobs, but that's probably going to be stabilizing in some years. Okay. Alrighty. Good to know. Amazing. There's a lot of jobs in the market. What do I need to do to find my job then? First thing I would say is the first step you need to take is creating your personal professional brand. So it's very important that you have a package of a resume, a cover letter, in a LinkedIn profile that sells you as a unique professional. And that means that you have to have really defined skills and defined objectives that will met in the middle. So basically, you know where you're going, you know the experience that you have, and you just need to click them in the middle. And that's why you have a CV, a cover letter, and a LinkedIn. Okay, I got here a CV example for you, but this is not like the only example that you can use, or it doesn't matter if you use this one on a different color or on a different format. It doesn't really matter. What it really matters, it's basic stuff as the more simple, the better. So sometimes people create a, very nice and very colorful CV. And you can actually see what they want to say in the CV. I see a lot of CV every day. Okay, so my day is literally looking through CVs the whole day. And the CVs that I will look and spend more than a minute, that they are the ones that have everything organized. So the personal information, the contact, the skills there, the experience. You will start as your oldest one. So what are you doing now? What are you doing when you were in Colombia, in Brazil? And then so, okay. So don't create an amazing and a very innovative CV. It doesn't really matter. You don't need to put a photo in your CV. It's not necessary. You don't need to put if you're single, if you are married, it doesn't matter. Okay, so when you create your CV, you need to think what it really matters to the company. Why would matter if I'm single or not, if a woman or not? What is my address? You don't need to put your address there. You need to put your suburb and your city, and that's it. Okay, so I think it's really important to have in mind the simpler the better, but it's really important the strategy. Okay, so the strategy is the point here. If you have the best CV, have the best cover letter, but you don't have the best content, it won't make any difference. Alrighty. So this is an example where you can see everything you need to put through a CV: personal information, contact, skills, experience, and education. That's all it needs to be in your CV. If you want to put like a volunteer work that you've done, nice, you can put that through. Or internship that you've done in the past. If it's related, good. Don't do a CV with more than 2 pages, okay? Try to squeeze it in everything. If it's too long, if it's 3 pages in your most relevant experiences in the 3rd page, no one is going to roll down to the 3rd page and see what was your job, okay? So that's why it's important to have the 2nd page. So, you know, a recruiter takes a little bit, about 6 seconds to find through what they need in the CV. So you have 6 seconds to bring up your skills, experience, and your your point of difference between your CV and your skills and experience than others. Okay, good. So let's talk about LinkedIn now. This is my profile, so you can search me there and kind of copy anything you like. I found my first HR job through LinkedIn. So I didn't apply in Seek. I was at home. Someone sent me a message in LinkedIn and say, "Hey, have you thought about working in HR?" And I was like, I actually thought about it, but I was really in a relationship client side of things. I thought it would be really hard to migrate to this job. So I was like, yeah, it can be good. So I actually was offered the job through that. So this is the dream, right? The worst thing is applying for jobs. I know it's really tricky. It's not the best thing to do. But if you find a way and you use your LinkedIn in a good way, the job can find you. Okay, so it's very complex. There's a lot of things to talk through about LinkedIn, and we don't have time today. But follow me there in my Instagram. That I give you a lot of tips where and how to do things, how to put your key words. Really important. The keywords. It's really important to have your banner in your photo very professional. You know, don't take selfies. Don't put a photo, you know, with the kind of, you know, with the glasses or very unprofessional. Just really do it professional and clean. Okay, this is the structure of a LinkedIn profile. So you have your picture, you have your banner, you have your headline. Your headline is what you do. So and I'll bring it back just so you know and you see mine. So I am a HR professional. That's myself in a nutshell, right? My expertise is in talent acquisition and HR policies and employee relationship. That's what I'm specialized with. Talent acquisition is what I do with a company, bringing talent into the company. So this is your headline. It needs to be a lot more than just saying administration, engineer. You need to know what you do and what you specialize with. And it's really important. So these 3 first points is really important because they will bring up attention to your profile. If your profile doesn't have these 3 really well done, they won't go through, so they won't see your experience on anything like that. Okay, so it's really important to have them there. It's like your first, it's like your visit card. Like, it needs to be really well done and professional. Then you have the experience, about, and education. Again, very simple, basic. You need to put exactly what is in your CV. This is the copy and paste. About is really about yourself. Like, what do you do? Why you do what you do? And how are you in your personal life as well? So you can put a bit of, you know, I like to walk with my dog. I like to bring coffee. I like being like going in a concert. What do you do in your personal life? Because sometimes what will connect you to the person that is hiring is what do you do in your personal life. So if you have a dog, like myself, I have a dog, and someone is interviewing me and they have a dog too, and it's the same breed, they will probably feel like we have something in common, and that can affect your chances to get a job. So don't be afraid of being personal as well. Here in Australia, the interviews and the conversations are a lot more informal than we are in South America. So don't be afraid of, you know, talk through about your life, telling them what you do, telling them where are you from, and things like that. Then you have your skills, and you have your recommendations and your language. So language is any language you speak. If you speak Spanish, Portuguese, English, French, everything, just put it there. There might be a differentiation as well. When I work in education, it was very, I was very well, I was really good for the company because I could speak Portuguese. Most of my clients were Brazilians. So this was something that I probably, if I wasn't a Brazilian, I wouldn't get a job. So don't be shy about sharing what you know. Don't be shy sharing about your skills, about your education. If you've done a master, if you've done a, you know, don't hide in your CV because you're finding a basic job or entry-level job. It is important anyway. Okay. Alrighty. So next step is just going through the job application. Be strategic, all right? Don't start applying for thousands of jobs in employment websites, which is basically Seek and LinkedIn and Indeed. But Indeed, I've never used, so I don't know if it's good or not. Never found someone to find a job there in the corporate sector. They can be good in casual work, hospitality, and things like that. But normally, for the jobs that you're probably looking, Seek and LinkedIn will be the best. Okay, so be really conscious about what kind of jobs are you applying. Are you actually looking through the requirements? If you have at least 50% of the requirements, you can apply for the job. If you don't have half of what they're asking, just don't apply. It's really unlikely they will call someone for an interview if they at least don't have half of the things they want the professional to have. Alrighty? So that's really important. Otherwise, what happens is that you will start getting a lot of no's and a lot of, you know, no, not successful for this one, not for that one. And that will bring you a lot of concerns that you won't be motivated to keep going. Okay? So that's really important. Second thing is the recruitment agency. So I started my career in HR working at Randstad, which is the middle there. Very good agency. Is I think at the moment is the biggest one around the world. So they are worldwide, and they are really good. That's where I start recruiting for government. So my portfolio of clients were government, and I've recruited a lot of students because not anymore, but you could work as a full-timer being a student, good times, but not anymore. But anyway, you can still try and do in a part-time, okay? They need people part-time as well. They have private clients that just want someone for a casual for 1 or 2 days a week. And that is a way you can start going through and showing your work to the company. So use them, go through the websites, put in Google, recruitment agencies in the city that you live, and that's going to bring up a list of agencies. And then you go there, you put your where you live, what you want to work, so office, engineer, design, whatever, just put it there and that will bring a list, and then you can start off applying for these roles. A lot of roles, and I will tell you right now, they don't go through SICK. I think SICK is probably 30 to 40% of the job market at the moment. The reason why it's because SICK is getting really expensive for the companies to advertise. So one advert that you see there, job advert that you see there, we can advertise for 30 days as a company, and it's almost $200 to keep that up for 1 month. And this is a lot of money. Imagine if you were a recruitment agency and you've got 100 of jobs to be filled, they're not going to be using that for 100 roles. Okay, so go through the websites as well. And networking, I think it's, networking is everything. Use your LinkedIn as much as you can. Don't be shy of connecting with people. Just really use LinkedIn as much as you can. Use the face groups as well. There's a lot of trash there sometimes, but normally that is my first job here in Australia in an education agency. I got through Facebook group, and that was my first job in the office in Australia, and I was a student, and that opened a whole option for me later on. So I stayed there for 2 years, and later I was working in a college, a vocational college. So it's really important to open all options. Okay, keep it open and put your personal brand wherever you can. Tell your friends you're looking for work. If you work in a restaurant, tell everyone that attends the restaurant, your customers, that you're looking for work. If they have company, if they know anyone, speak up. Okay, if you don't say anything, you won't know. And as I was saying, so challenges, I think it's very important to say that we have lots of challenges. It won't be easy. It's not like being Australian, definitely not. If we imagine that an Australian is in our country, in Colombia, in Brazil, and they want to find a job, that's going to be really hard for them, right? They probably don't have a visa. They don't speak the language well. They don't know anyone. So this is not only for us as a South American in Australia, that's for everyone. The challenges are the same. So language, first thing first. You need to prioritize in study English here. A lot of people come to Australia and say, oh, I've done 6 months. I've had enough. I can't study anymore. It's really expensive. And I know, and I've been there. I've been there 7 years and a half ago. It's really expensive. I don't want to renew my visa as a English course. I need to work. I need to make money, and I understand. But you need also to find ways to keep practicing your English. If you live with South Americans, if you speak Portuguese and Spanish the whole day, you go to work, you work with them too, or you don't talk when you work. So there is a way where you need to practice it. If you have a private lecture that you can do it online, or if you can make some friends from different countries. As the South Americans, especially Brazil and Colombia, we can speak in English between us because we don't have the same language. So instead of trying to communicate in this Portuñol, let's try speaking in English. Like, really, that needs to be the focus for, I would say, minimum 1 or 2 years, so you feel confident that you're gonna, be able to do your job here well. For me, when I start as a cleaner, working as a cleaner, and then I look to myself and I was like, I don't talk to anyone here. how I'm going to improve my English. Then I moved to hospitality, and that 6 months that I worked in hospitality, oh my God, I learned so much. I really learned the basics, the communications, the slangs here in Australia. And then it was a lot easier for me to get into office job. But again, I had a lot of clients that were Brazilians. So when I got in the college, then I was like, okay, now I need to make friends from different countries. I can't just be speaking Portuguese the whole time. And that's why my English came from here to here. So again, practice. English is the basic. If you don't know what you're saying, if you don't have communication skills, you're not going to be able to find a job that you want. Visa. So that's another one. It's becoming more and more and more difficult for us. But at the same time, there is always a way. Always. I see it every day. I have clients that they've got a sponsorship. They got a sponsorship where they can just get a kind of a sign letter from the company. They don't need to be there for 3 years. They got a part-time, and they're doing the part-time role until they can actually finish the masters, and then they would do a full-time role for 2 years or 3. So don't make it the visa stop you to looking for jobs. There's a lot of part-time jobs at the moment. And the reason why, it's because a lot of companies are struggling to get a full-time employee because, you know, everyone knows the economy is going down worldwide. So instead of getting a full-time employee, they're getting a part-time employee to do the same job in less hours. The demand is a bit less than normal. Okay. So yeah, just filter there through part-time and apply. Priorities, I think it's really important. You know, if that's what you want, if you want to find jobs, that's your goal, just work through that. Your friends will say it's really hard. It's always going to have a party next week. Everyone is traveling to Bali. But if you really want to get this done, and I can tell you, I lived in Australia 6 years, or was 6 or 5 until I went to Bali. And everyone was going to Bali when I got here. But I was like, I'd rather go to Bali when I actually have a peace of mind that I come back to a good job and a good life there than going now where everyone is going. And, you know, I could invest in this time. If I really want to stay in Australia, I could be investing this time in looking for jobs, applying for jobs, studying English, and using this money to work through my goals. Not saying it's right or wrong. Everyone does it different. But if you have a goal, work through that as hard as possible. Okay, it's gonna take time. It's gonna be hard. Have people around you that really supports you. That's the way we can go through that. And again, networking. I think I've put 3 times networking here. It's just because it is so important. You know, agencies. So Education Way, I am sure that they have helped you to create your CV. They, you know, every time you go there, they can give you tips, or they can be a source of networking for you too. They might, you know, they might know someone that is needing someone to work. And if you're going to be there always saying, you know, I'm looking for work, I would like to work in this area, this is my CV. If you literally go door to door and introduce yourself, nothing wrong will happen. The only way that you can see if things will happen is just trying. Okay. Yeah, so I think I went through this already, but the way to overcome is basically having a technique. So if you don't know where you're going, unlikely you're gonna get there. It's very unlikely that you get to go if you don't know where you're getting. You don't know. Something more attractive can just take you out of your way, and that's it. Like you just, if you don't have the focus and you go, it's not gonna happen. I think something really important is plan your steps. So plan ahead. Think, okay, I will take my next 3 months to focus on getting my work. Don't stop in the middle. Like, I know days are really hard, but maybe you can have 10 jobs to apply every week, and that's your goal. And keep doing it. It's doing it every day and every week that you're gonna see results. It's just not doing 100 jobs in 1 week and not applying for any for 3 months and expecting something, right? So align your expectations is really important. Again, CV, cover letter, LinkedIn, these 3 are your portfolio. They are your professional portfolio. You need to know them as the music that you love the most. You need to know where you work, what you did, your degrees, your skills. Everything needs to be through your mind, and you need to be able to say that when the possibility and the opportunity comes. You need to be able to tell everyone that. And I think don't give up. I think that's really basic, but the only way you're not going to get your job here in Australia if you give up. I know it's hard. Again, it's not easy. It's not something it's going to happen just applying for one role. And this is not easy even for Australians. So sometimes you think, okay, we are immigrant, that's why it's so hard. No, I see every day Aussies that are facing a struggle to find jobs. And the reason why is because they have been out of the workforce for a long time. So they have a gap of 2 years, or they don't have the skills at all. They don't study, they don't specialize themselves, and they are struggling too. So even though there is a lot of demand in the market, the skilled professionals are very low. And I know that in South America, you have a really good education structure, and we can differentiate sometimes our profile because we study a lot. We have a lot of degrees, postgrad, masters, and things like that. So think about yourself as, I am here, my English is not native, but I can speak well. I know how good I am. Just think about it and just don't give up. A company needs a professional like you, and I can tell you 100%. Just not give up in trying to apply as many roles as you can. That will bring up just this match between the company that needs you and the company that you need. Okay, well, I think that's it. Again, if you want to follow me, I normally share a lot of content and a lot of tips there for you to find the job that you want in Australia. And yeah, I think that's it. Is there any question, or I'm going to stop sharing now?
There is some questions here, but before we start answering the questions, I want to say that it's super true. I think it's very usual for international students to come to Australia and they decide just to hang with the people that they can speak their language, and they don't realize that you can be at the best English school, but if you surround yourself with the same nationality, you're not going to improve. So we are trying to do other events, and we see the events that we do that is targets towards a job. We always have people coming, but when we're trying to focus on language courses, it's very not well, like the students do not engage that much. And I think they don't realize how important English is for their careers in general.
Yeah.
So, and I think because of we don't go towards our English, we think we are not enough for the Australian market. And we have so many different skills from Australians. And because we don't own the language, we don't think we are enough.
Yeah. I work with I've always worked with Aussies, so I miss, and now at the place I'm working, I have a Brazilian that works with me, and I was like, oh my God, how different is working with the same nationality that you, like, the thinking is ahead, you know, it's very proactive, not reactive. Here, the market is really reactive. Even though the country is knowing about planning and, you know, being really prepared, the market, job market, everyone is reactive. They don't think ahead. They're not planning as we do in South America. So 100%. And don't get us wrong, your best friends will be likely be the ones that speak your language. 100%. You can have a group of friends, but trying to do different things. I don't know, go to gym class that you can engage with everyone that's there. Do something different. If you stay with your friends from your home country, it's like living in a bubble, and nothing is going to bring more than what already you have.
Yeah. So let's start with questions. So Sylvia is telling us that she's from Brazil. She used to be a teacher, and all her experience in Brazil are in schools and university. However, here she's only been working as a cleaner and some customer service. She wants to try to go to another area, but she's worried how can she present herself on LinkedIn, and how can she connect all these different areas on her profile.
Yeah. So that is really tricky. But at the same time, they understand here that we come from a different country and we have a gap of few years that we don't work in our area. So it is very, it's very well known that we have a gap in our LinkedIn, in our CV. So that's not like end of the word. Like they know that when you move to a different country, you have a gap. It's otherwise if you came with the company, but it's very unlikely, right? Coming from Brazil or Colombia or whatever, just with a job already. That's a dream, but we're really far from what we see. So let me go through. Okay. What would differentiate you is your skills. So basically just giving you like an overview of LinkedIn. The way the LinkedIn works is you go through as a recruiter, as a HR person, you go to the platform, and then we'll have skills and professionals. So you can search through skills. So all skills the professional needs to have and the professional they have. Then the LinkedIn will do a search there and will bring up a list of people that can be suitable for the job. So the way you can do that is putting through your skills and the job hunting. So your there is a thing that is called open to work in LinkedIn. And then there you can put through what do you want to work, the area that you want to work now. And you can tailor your CV with these transferable skills that we call. So things that you have worked, like for example, you a teacher, nice. So you have really good customer skills. You have really good attention to details. You have you have a huge knowledge of academic. So things like that can relate to different jobs. It's not only doing this, you can only do this. So you can relate to different jobs. So best thing to do is go through your LinkedIn, change all the skills that you have there and think about what do you want to work. Because if you put all you do now, it's going to bring for you, in your case, you're working as a cleaner, it's going to bring cleaner jobs. So when you do that, you need to think about the job that you want to do in the future. Okay, that's something that I've done myself when I was looking for a job, and it worked.
Next one, Pamela. She said, "Hi, Juliana. Thank you for your presentation. It is bad seen to apply for a full-time job as a student. or I just have to apply for part-time, casual, and contract jobs?
No. So this is really, really good question. If I was you, I won't put my hope in the full-time because it's very unlikely that they will call you, okay? But I will apply anyway. The reason why is because every company has a talent pool. So this talent pool is divided through part-time, full-time, customer service, whatever the areas they have, and they will keep your CV there. So if a part-time job coming in, they will have the pool there, and your CV can be the first ones to be called. So if you have the skills and experience that is needed, apply. Just remember that it's a full-time job. They might not be suitable for now, but it can be for later. So apply.
Perfect. Thank you. Alejandra, write down, do you have some tips of how to create a really attractive LinkedIn profile? Also, I think sometimes finding the title of the job is a bit tricky. Any advice on this one?
Yes, I have a really good advice, and I do with my clients. So actually, a good LinkedIn profile is a good photo. Good photo means not selfie, good quality. Just take it from here to your chest. Just don't book the whole body, otherwise they won't be able to see your face. Smile, and probably a clear background. Okay, and there is a lot of banners in Canva, the website, where you can just search, or even Google, and you can search a good banner there and put a good banner. So the photo, the banner, and the headline. Okay, that's what I show you how mine is. So it's HR professional, what I'm specialized with. That can be 3 or 4 things. This is the basic. This is the first impression when they go to your LinkedIn. The way I see a good LinkedIn profile is that they need to be 100% completed. So you need to put your skills, education, everything there. Otherwise you won't be really good. Like you'll be like you did. And there's another thing too. If you don't complete it 100%, that's going to affect your ranking. So when that list comes through of potential suitable candidates, if your profile is not completed, you're going to be ranking down the bottom because they think you haven't completed your profile and not looking for jobs.
Interesting.
Okay? And that's how LinkedIn survives. If you think, okay, I don't pay LinkedIn, they don't have advertised. How do they survive? It's because the company pays them to find candidates. So they need to be accurate, and they give to give a good list for the companies. And the tip for the titles, it's going through Seek. So if you go to Seek and put through just one word, Seek is a lot better than LinkedIn for that. Go through Seek and put, if you are engineer, like I don't know, civil engineer. Go through that and put civil engineer. Don't put any location, and that's going to come up a list of jobs that are in your area, and they forward different. And that's the way you can search through. That's the best way I can find.
Perfect. Thank you. Larissa is asking, in case of working as a cleaner, for example, how can you include this gap in your resume because it's outside of our area? Thank you so much.
Yeah. So cleaner. To be quite honest, when I do a CV, they have a cleaner or a labor or anything. I put the gap as normally we could. So the company, the city they were there, the start and finish, or if you're still there. And I don't put what you do because they know what a cleaner does, right? You don't need to put in your CV what you do. If you do something like you control the stock, you buy stuff, you're not just actually cleaning, but you're actually doing something more. You speak to the clients, to the customers, you organize the schedule. Then I would do, because then it's more like you have a skill more than normal. Otherwise, I would just put a cleaner and that's it. And your cover letter, that's where you're going to explain that you've been working as a cleaner because you're just setting up to the new country, and now you feel it's time for you to move to your career. Okay?
Thank you. Livia. Juliana, I have experience in finance, accounts payable and accounts receivable in Brazil. I've worked for 2 multinationals. You can read, right? I'm not going to translate because my mind, 6 p.m., 7 p.m.
Yeah, okay. So she wants to know, wait, because it's 6 p.m. here too.
Sorry.
Okay, it's the same question as before. So she worked in 2 worldwide companies. She has really good experience. Accounts payable and receivables, it's really hard to find professionals here. So it's a really good job in demand. Don't know how to start looking for jobs or writing CV because she's working as a cleaner. So you need to do your CV, focus in what you did in Brazil. That's it. You need to don't take any space of your CV about what you did here. Just put a cleaner, the time that you've been doing this, and then go, because what happens is that when I see as a recruiter your first page, I will go and I will find the payroll or the accounts payable word. If I can find the first page, I will have a look. So if you put a lot of things that it's not related to your first page, then your payroll and accounting experience will go down to the second page and no one's going to read that. So this is really important. Put as much information as you can about your experience as accountant, okay? Or finance, I don't know, sorry.
Would it be important to change the description on LinkedIn to English on all my
And that's going to be really easy for you because when you're creating your CV, everything needs to be English, right? You're not going to do a half CV. So LinkedIn is really easy. When you have your CV done, you're going to open there and copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And that's going to be easy. The tricky one is your CV. That's where it will come all the information.
And Pamela is asking if she can ask for connections with recruiters and people from her area, even though she doesn't know them.
Yes, she can. It's not annoying. It's not hard. I have a lot of people. I have lots of connections, and I probably don't know half of them. And I accept them, and probably because they will post jobs there, and if someone have the ability to fill the gap, the role, it's going to be good for the recruiter. So why not to accept people there? Okay. If you want to send them like, hey, my name is blah, 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 you can. Sometimes they'll not read it. So it's just having a connection to see what they're posting, to like the post, so to engage with them more. So it's definitely not a problem.
Perfect. I think Joanna is typing, and I think it's going to be the last question. So we can all go home. Please remember, guys, Juliana works with this. She has her own company. So if you need help arranging your LinkedIn, your CV, and getting ready for job interviews, she can help you in your language.
Yes.
But we wanted to do in English, so students can get ready for their real life.
Yes.
Yes,
Silvia, you can ask another question. Can I?
Joanna is asking that, she's saying that I am studying IT, and I would like to get a job in the field, even if I'm still studying, and she doesn't have much experience.
Yeah, so that is going to be hard because here in Australia, it's all about your work experience. Nice that you're studying, very nice, amazing, but the company wants to know where have you worked, what kind of, and that's like a circle, right? Because you don't have experience and you're studying. Then when you finish studying, you still don't have experience, but you finish your study. So the way I normally say to my clients is, you can enter in a company like admin support, for example, in an IT company, and then you can have opportunities to grow in this company after your completion of the course. So that's ways where you can do it different. So just don't think about getting a role as an IT professional. If you have some odd experience that you can enter with that and then move to IT, that can be a solution too.
Nice. Just a couple more questions and then we can finalize by 7. I was going to say something I forgot. For some occupations here in Australia, because Australians, they usually study and then they go looking for jobs if they go towards higher education. So there is a thing here called professional year, where the person is usually related to IT, accountant, and for engineering. So professional year is getting a recently graduated student and slowly introducing him, her, they to the workplace. So it's like a study with internship, so you can get ready for the workforce. So in some cases, you might apply for one of these courses, or I think if you try to apply as an intern, maybe won't get paid, but I've seen many students getting job offers right after the internship ends. So if you want to get into your area, maybe it's a good thing to prepare yourself to spend 3-6 months. I had a student that did internship for 1 year as a engineering, and when she finished the internship, she was offered not even the position but a sponsor.
Yeah, very nice tip.
Pamela said, very nice tip. Sylvia, if I'm looking for an office job, in my description in LinkedIn, what could I put? Because I'm worried if I describe myself as a teacher and I'm looking for a job in different field. Thank you again.
Yeah, that's really tricky. I would put as a admin or business support professional. And that is the most generic thing to say, but you're not putting yourself in a box as an educator. So I think it's, put it like a business support, and then your skills and your keywords there, then you put as an office, admin officer, office assistant. That is a huge things of professions in a business support. But yeah, I would do that.
Ida, when I ask something, I saw you typing. Now or never. No? She said, I couldn't keep up from the beginning, so sorry, this subject has already been addressed. However, do you recommend talking about sponsor in the interview? Good question.
Really good question. No. So the first interview, I wouldn't say anything, because when you have your first date with someone, that you just say good things about you, how nice you are, how interesting your life is, and things like that. That is an interview. That's the same thing. So if it was myself, I wouldn't attack in the first one, because they can be like, okay, we liked her, but maybe the sponsorship, it's not right. So I will just push as much as I can with the process. And that is hard because it's going to trigger our expectations as well, because the things will start moving and we're like, oh my God, it's real, it's real, it's real, until it's like, we don't have a sponsorship. But I would ask, I wouldn't say in the interview, but I would ask probably in the phone call, because they won't book an interview without calling you.
Yeah.
So if they call you, you can say, so I know, do you guys have an option for a sponsor, or how? If they say no, you say no, it's fine. Just want to know. Don't say like, you know, oh, I need a sponsor. Can you offer me a sponsor? No, just, you know, just a quick question. You know, do you guys sponsor professionals or not? That's it. But in the interview, no, because that's more like you're selling yourself. You're not asking anything. When they like you after the interview, then it's time for you to ask salary, sponsor, benefits, and things like that.
And a good tip is always to ask questions.
Yes.
Prepare yourself for the interview and ask questions about the company, the position, what they expect for you to accomplish within the first months.
If you don't ask questions, really, yeah, it's not great. You can even like, what is the next step for the role, for this recruitment process? Very basic. Do recruiters often call tech? Yes. And I would like to understand why people apply for roles and don't pick up their phones, because my whole day is calling people and leaving messages, and that's really annoying. Today was one of the days. Monday, everyone picks up their phone, but Friday, like, no, definitely not. So yes, please keep the eye on your phone if you're applying for jobs. If you work and you can't respond, just send a message back and say, I'm sorry, I'm not available now. Can I give you a call in an hour, and 2 and 3 tomorrow? Doesn't matter, just respond to that. We use a lot of text message, and we use voice message. So you might, a lot. So you might have a lot of voice message that you've never listened
to.
I don't leave because I think it's too old school. Like, I can't do it. I do SMS.
Okay, I think that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for your time, Juju. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a long time now.
Thank you. If you have any doubts, guys, just give us a shout out. You have all her details here. If you need help connecting with her, let us know. Just a heads up, next Wednesday, we're gonna have an event. It's gonna be a Cambridge Day. So if you have interest in this understanding how the test works and how the Cambridge class works, it is perfect for everybody that has already a level of English and wants to improve. It's mainly focused on vocabulary and use of language. So if you want to really bring your English from here to here, Cambridge is a good option. It's going to be free. It's going to be 3 hours. They're going to tell about all the subjects of the test. And if you cannot stay for the whole 3 hours, and you know that your weak part is listening, you can go just for the listening part. So register yourself. It's going to be next Wednesday. Use details is on our LinkedIn or in our Instagram as well. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.